A very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. So much is happening in this country and you have to talk about it. Cabinet ministers were sacked, excluding Prime Cabinet Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Mudavadi. So much is happening in this country. Prof, it's so crazy that we had to get here where all ministers except for PM Mudavadi remains. Why do you think the president spared him from a political perspective?
It's just politics, you know. He's supposed to be number 3. This position they fight over with Papa Roma, I don't know who's number 3.
Hey.
So this phantom kind of thing.
Yeah.
It would have looked bad for Musalia to be dropped just like that. But that's people are demanding that he should also go.
He should also go. But then you look at, did we have to get here? Or it's a question of how did the president even get them to ministers in the first place? From where you sit, was this obviously going to happen?
Of course, I said it many times. I said the president, do it while you still have some room to do it. If you don't, you'll do it. Under duress, on your knees. So it's good he did it in time.
Yesterday we mentioned...
I really must commend the president for doing it in time.
This time he did it in time?
Yeah, this was in time. Yeah. He could not have done it any earlier.
Not any later?
Later was, any 2-3 more days, it would have, but the timing was proper. Because it's not a simple matter. To dissolve cabinet is not a simple matter.
I remember we talked with you, maybe offline, and you were telling me that he has to sack them even if they're his friends.
Yes, yes.
And this is what he has done. So what political ramifications do you expect for the president, especially with people like Murkomen and Ama? People don't like them, so the president can just...
Yeah, you see now, people are saying, I've read something on Twitter. This minister called Njerwa, although you don't know him. He could even be with you in a matatu, bashing government, and you don't know he's a minister. And you know they were irritating people. I don't know why they were not saying it.
What is it about, you know, irritation, arrogance, pride, opulence that you don't see it while you're in power?
Yeah, and the impunity and everything. It gets to your head. People can't even understand how. And there are guys with money in this town and you can't even know. You sit with somebody somewhere and there are people who have shocked me. I've had friends, I don't want to mention them here. A friend of mine here, Karen here, the one I do some consultants work for, he will know I'm talking about it.
Yes.
When I began knowing this is his, what? This is also yours, and this, what? But I've been with this guy on TV and I've never known. I have known he's not like me. I've known he's better, he's doing well financially. But when I got to know what exactly he was financially, I was shocked. So small boys get some little money and it goes to the head and now they have cost even innocent people their jobs. You have seen what Malonza said, if it is true. You know, this social media, they are
you
many
can't
fake
really
things.
tell.
She's saying I had a well-paying job. Now look at me, now I'm jobless. It could be true.
But where did the rain start beating Kenya Kwanza? Some say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Maybe the tree is William Ruto. Do you think Ruto is just a good pretender and that's the case, that this is how they talk in private and the other ones don't know how to keep in private and they bring what is in Rome in Kenya?
It's possible. These things are possible. But this is government. You are running government. You can't afford to be careless when you are running government. And the people who are perceived to be close to you, there's a bit of you that people see in them. So you have to be very careful. And I've said it many times. I've said it many times. You have to be very careful. Look, even when it came to business, Moi made a lot of money. I may be wrong, but I think he made billions of shillings. But there were silent players like Joshua Kulei, I think, people like Kulei and others, who knew them, who saw them with bags in Harambes. I don't think, come on, Harambes, you come on in Billy Walienda.
Yeah.
So you play it like that because these things invite jealousy. They invite envy. You are just a humble man in Eldoret with friends having a drink evenings and Saturdays and Fridays. All of a sudden you are coming with a different car every weekend, none of which is below 20 million. Human nature is that they will not feel nice. And all of a sudden you can, when you are there, nobody buys. Where to? Unasemana. Kama nimeitwa haraka haraka, nani bring your pesa unaweka kwa meza 500 watu wazee waendelee kukula. I'm just saying, for example. I'm not saying anybody has done that. you invite, you think people will be clapping and celebrating? No, you invite. So that then, people link that with the president.
But then what do you make? You've talked about a CS who no one knows, and then there's this CS who everyone knows. Why did the president have to dissolve it? It's as if he has dissolved.
Shock therapy, I've told you, shock therapy. You need to do it. The president needed to do something drastic to send the signal. You know, for people to start having faith once more in him and his government.
But what are the repercussions?
For him to buy the goodwill that was lost.
Yeah.
He needed to do to take some drastic action, and it can never go beyond cabinet. And I think the president has made sacrifice enough. He has carried, mzigo.
Msalaba.
Ya amebeba msalaba. Lazima atafute. Alikuwa nani alisaidia Yesu kubeba msalaba?
Simons
of somewhere.
Of Cyrene.
Yeah. Ruto must look for Simon of Cyrene to help him to carry the cross, the remaining distance. But also, other people who have been there must also make their sacrifices. And I want to think it is Parliament which must now make the ultimate sacrifice.
What do you expect of Parliament, though?
They must make the ultimate sacrifice. Ruto has made enough. They too should make the ultimate sacrifice. And if I'm Ruto, I'll send them home. All of them.
You talked. I know what you implying.
People are arguing, oh, there's nothing in law. No, what? I saw someone called Thuku. I said, no. On Twitter, I told no. That advice Maraga gave Uhuru now, Uhuru akaeka kwa koti, it is still valid.
To dissolve Parliament?
Yes.
Still valid till today?
Yes, it's valid. It's valid. The president can act on that advice. Actually. But because they have been here for 2 years and they have not done anything. So they can't ask for time. They knew. They knew the last parliament ought to have passed that. Well, I almost call it useless law. Because indeed it is useless. But you see now, that is the basis upon which Maraga advised Uhuru to dissolve parliament.
I'm very interested.
Now that they have been here for almost 2 years and they have done nothing, they should also just go home. So if I'm Ruto, mi naenda na nyinyi. Naambia wa Kenya, hawa watu ndio wameleta shida. Kama wangekuwa wananichunga vizuri, kuhakikisha mimi nafanya kazi yangu vizuri, hatungekuwa mahali tumefika.
But how much should
wacha waende nyumbani.
How much should the president give in? We had this conversation.
It's not a question. Those who are asking the president to give in are making a mistake. I said the president needed to do certain things. The president ought to do those things. He has done the bigger one.
Which is to dissolve.
Yes. And now, he has to show goodwill by doing the small things. For example, what is Osoro still doing in parliament as a leader of parliament? That's the seriousness I'm talking about. People like Osoro. What are they still doing in parliament as leaders? He's a very good friend of mine, a young man, good, but they should not be there.
Ishungwas.
Yeah, parliamentary. I expect UDA, Kenya Kwanza parliamentary group, to be called tomorrow. And they replace Kimani Shungwa, replace Osoro, replace the rest of all of them.
Molo MP there.
Yes, look, somebody, that person like that. Yeah. Toa hii watu yote. And the Senate. Toa hii kina Cheriot, marafiki zangu sana. But now it's about country. It's not about friendship. Those who assassinated Caesar said, it's not that I didn't love Caesar. I loved him more than any of you. But I loved Rome more. You love country more than a friend. So, those are the things I'm saying the president should do.
I want us to strike a balance.
Because everything he has done now,
yes,
he may back icing on the cake. Parliamentary leadership, these advisors can Ndi. I don't know why I keep mentioning Ndi, please. You know I know you and you are my... Please forgive me. I'm just speaking for Kenyans.
Yeah.
Me, I'm just a mouthpiece for Kenyans. Wow, what do I end? You know what? When you do that, everybody will know enough is enough. Shaigana ni shaigana. Enough imeja? Imetosha. And if you try to push the president further, even Kenyans will beat you up. Even your father in your home will slap you. But if they don't do it, we could run into a free fall. Unafanya hii haitoshi na hii je na hii. Then panic and things like those. I
am interested in knowing how much the president can do for the country after the requests he's getting on different social media platforms, vis-a-vis looking like a president, the powerful president. I mentioned yesterday about the president looking weak as he was walking after he had sacked his cabinet ministers, and we're saying, he's giving in. How can the president still remain steadfast, shoulders high as president, and not look defeated?
When you do things within a reasonable time, so that there's nothing like too little, too late. And I've said it. Haven't I said it? If you delay too long, one, it comes as too little, too late. Number two, you do it in the eyes of the people from on your knees. You're on your knees. A leader must never come out as being beaten, being defeated. A leader should always look firm, decisive. Once you lose that, then the country is in danger of going the wrong place. So you just do those things that need to be done in the right time. Don't hesitate until you are pushed to do. So that's why I'm saying I don't know what is Shunga still doing as a leader of house. I can't understand why Ndi is still in office. Because they will go. But now by the time they are going, it's the people pushing them out, not the president. Yeah. So the president must now act now. And they call a Jubilee, or what did you call it?
What?
UDA, Kenya Kwanza, PG, and they replace the House leadership.
Yes.
You get it?
Yeah.
Then by now, his advisors, who people know, there are many we don't know. The ones people know. Wale watu wakiona unasikia to throw, send them home. And there are one or two other things the president can do. After which, now the president can call for dialogue.
Tell me this, caliber of cabinet ministers you expect? Getting a lot of people telling me, Manyora atakuwa hapo or not, you know, Kisia there, Kirwa, you know, caliber of people you expect? Because the president says he's looking for, he's thinking about them.
I cannot talk for myself. I've seen people talk about those things. I'm not dying to be a CS. I can serve my country if I'm given the job. What I do know, as part of the healing and confidence building, the president will need to introduce people who will even shock the country. Amefanya Manyora minister. Amefanya fulani. And he need not worry. Because there's the team of rivals. The best example in history. Abraham Lincoln. The people who opposed him most bitterly, he put them in his cabinet. He died when those people still hated him. But they did a fantastic job. And there have been other places, even in Singapore, where you get people who don't agree with you, put them in cabinet and tell them, it's not William Ruto. It is Kenya, your motherland. Serve Kenya, don't serve me. You'll be surprised. In fact, the loyalty you get from a person who is committed, intelligent, committed, and ready to do the right thing and to serve country, you'll be shocked at the loyalty. These other people are there for what they get from you. If situations changed, that there's somebody to give more to them, like now, this time of, Ruto can be shocked. Because in the ordinary nature of business, things are going to happen in this country. These dynamics must produce moves and counter moves. There are people who are going to think Ruto is weak. They want now to make direct attack and go for his presidency in 2027 or whatever it is, 2032, even earlier. He will be shocked at how many of these people he was going to die for will join those people. Did we see people like Muturi leaving Uhuru Kenyatta and people like, what?
Yeah.
Do you remember the sort of people who left Uhuru to join Ruto?
Yeah.
These people are going to leave Ruto, like the cabinet he has dissolved, to join his enemies. Some of them are very bitter. That's the difference between sycophants, cheerleaders like those ones, and serious Kenyans. You will be surprised how a serious Kenyan Kenyan you'll make a minister and will be loyal to you as he is true to country and loyal to you. Because without trust between a minister and the president, without loyalty, you cannot deliver on your docket as a minister. So let Ruto try. He'll bring the report to us after 6 months. Let him bring people he couldn't even greet in cabinet. First of all, people will know he's serious. He wants to change the country. Secondly, they will deliver in a manner he will be shocked, as they will be delivering and displaying unseen loyalty. Those guys he was going to die for will be working with his enemies. He'll see it. A fool is not a good friend. If you want a friend, don't look for a fool.
Can't wrap it better. Thank you for tuning in. If you want a friend, don't look for a fool. Do you have fools for friends? Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about the situation with your cabinet ministers. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day. Have a great weekend.